Good evening. Tonight we are discussing gun rights and the importance of them. First, I want to say that the amount of violence that's going on is quite high. That's obvious, but this is in areas where people are having on, they're being restricted their right to defend themselves using any means necessary. So basically, I want to read the Second Amendment so you're all familiar with it, as I like to do with any sort of related video regarding rights and anything like that, if I ever do another one. So it goes like this. Amendment 2. A well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. Now the government wants to argue that that comma only means for people in the military or law enforcement can have firearms. The way I look at it, seeing I took criminal law and justice for a little while, the fact is it's more like a list. If you look at it, it's a list of your rights. Like combined things is in other ways and other amendments as well. So to just say it's in that one alone is complete and utter, you know what. But just to get started, your rights, that's your right. The importance of it is, picking up a phone isn't just going to cut it anymore. Inner city response times are delayed, so a lot can happen, right? So basically, it's upon you to defend yourself. But picking up a phone isn't just going to make somebody appear magically with blue lights and sirens and handcuffs and take the bad person away. It's the way it works, right? So I feel that it is the responsibility of every man and woman to keep themselves and others safe from harm. That's right, it's on you and me and others around us. I do support the law enforcement community. Like I said before, they can't just be everywhere. It's not their fault. It's due to funding, it's due to other reasons that our cities are unmanned for the amount of people that they have. So basically, what that means is, you take the classes, you take the training, you carry every day, if you're permitted to. That's another thing we're going to get into is gun-free zones, and that I'm going to get into. We're going to talk about that a lot, and the importance of them, and why I feel that it's more of a criminal safe haven than it is for your own people. So basically, what I'm saying is very simple. Do yourself some good, get the training, whether it's armed, unarmed, whatever, some sort of combative skills is also good. Gun's just a tool. It's not going to guarantee you that you see tomorrow if you ever get in a situation that's horrific. Excuse me. Now back to response times. I talked about that briefly. Some research shows that it's anywhere from 4 to 6 minutes. Some could be less, some could be longer. 4 to 6 minutes is a long time to be waiting for somebody to come and bail your ass out. 4 to 6 minutes could see into 4 to 6 lifetimes. Think about that. A lot can happen in that time too. It doesn't take that long for a guy with the intent of doing malicious harm to an individual or a group to carry out this attack. Now, I'm not saying don't go anywhere and live in your house, and that's one option. Of course, that's not going to be any use to you or the people around you. We all have jobs to do at the end of the day. We all have places to be and families to go and see. But this brings up a very good, important point. The skills that you need are minimal with a firearm compared to getting a 6-degree black belt in Muay Thai or some other martial art. Going to classes, it's about a 3-day affair at the most. It could be 2 days. It could be just a single day, depending on the length of the class and how much money you put into it and where you go. Going to the range, that's fun. If you have friends that like to do it, family members, you're doing yourself a service. Also, educating those around you is critical. You know, I get to heated debates on Facebook all the time with people that are like, you don't need that. You don't need this. I'm like, how can you tell me what I do and don't need? I think myself, as an individual, should be able to make that decision for myself, not another human being. And that's the point I'm trying to bring across to people. It's not about, you know, what you need, what this person might need, what they believe, or, you know, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, it's all about you. What you might think is necessary to defend those around you or defend your family, whether it's an AR-15 or a Glock'19, it doesn't really matter. You know, if you're a legal, law-abiding citizen, why should the government or anyone that's near you tell you what you need? It's not up to them. It's all right in here. Before this was even written, before this Constitution was even indoctrinated onto paper, you had these rights. You had the right to bear arms. Way before that, another guy on Facebook, Chad Prather, he talks about your self-worth. Something higher than you gave you that worth. Think about that for a sec. If something gave you a higher value than you yourself or anyone around you, how can that be said and others don't know? I will take questions if anybody has any on these rights, as I've said. You know, there are plenty of options. Welcome aboard, Andy. You are the first person to join this today. We're going to talk about a giveaway later on today, because that's what I do. We're going to give up a good amount of prizes as we get going over the years. Like I said, it's going to take a while, but I'm going to start gearing towards 1,000 members and 1,000 subscribers on both my YouTube and my Facebook channel. So, what we're going to do is I'm going to have a giveaway. Every time for every 1,000 that we hit, that 1,000th subscriber is going to get something in the mail. Whether it be from MassDrop, which is a liked page on my Facebook account, and I'll notate it down here on YouTube later on, and share it so you guys can check out the gear there too. It's pretty cool. They got everything from EDC to what have you. So that's it there. Giveaways, we'll talk about that. There's a site, grabagun.com. They're having a giveaway for an Echo 316 M-Lock FDE AR-15. You can sign up to 4 times a day. Until the 31st of this month of 2016. After that, the winner will most likely be chosen. Good luck to those who enter that contest. I'm going to do it, and if I win it, well, you know where that video is going. So that's what's happening there. I think it's up to us in the end, ultimately, to educate those around us. First and foremost, that is the main objective right now. Everyone that sits around their couch watching the media that is uninformed and uneducated about this topic. In Chicago, the death count is at 2,490 people since this year started. And those are all shooting fatalities. The city with the highest gun control, or one of the highest. Think about that. Render that in your mind. It doesn't work. Gun-free zones, those don't work. They didn't work for postal workers that had that shootout a while ago, back in the 90s. Yeah, I'm going back a ways. I remember a lot of things. Or the Boston Bombers. That wasn't a gun-free zone, no. That was just out in the open. You know, no one had situational awareness or dropped the ball. You know, these guys, I thought they looked kind of suspicious just watching the clips on the news. How about the recent attacks overseas in Paris and Nice and all that? Nice just used a high-capacity box truck. No one's calling for anyone to stop producing box trucks. No one's calling for these people to be investigated even further to buy a truck or a pressure cooker or any other items. The means are there for people to do evil things because that's what they believe. That's how they were taught. You know, it's not because of the firearm. It's not because of anything like that. If I had a full-fledged weapon, I have an AR-15. It's not made me any more violent. It's not made me want to do anything more nasty, be more ridiculed, or do anything to anybody. It just sits by my bed, waiting, God forbid, that someone enters my house unannounced. That's the way it is. That's the way a law-abiding citizen is. They follow the laws. So creating more laws on top of laws doesn't make sense. It doesn't work. It doesn't help the people. It only prohibits and controls those around it. And the fact of the matter is, gun control has its roots back to the days after slavery. Its very beginning roots was to prevent those that were formerly slaves to buy firearms so that they wouldn't go and kill the people that were their former owners. It's all right there. The dark, evil roots that people call for. 3 words, assault weapons ban, that lasted 10 years, that made a $600 AR-15 into a $1,600 AR-15. That type of legislation. Gun control doesn't work. It just never has. Calling for it isn't right. Your rights get infringed. Where does this end if this gun control goes through? That's another thing to think about. What are the rights that they're going to strip away? Is it going to be the first one? Is it going to be the 8th? How about your 9th? Or 7th? Or 6th? Where is it ending? Probably go after your first next. They're going to just take away your freedom of riot, religion, freedom of speech. They're going to, oh, you are. Then they're just going to restrict the press even more through the FCC. That's the way it could go. The Second Amendment, you know, it's a right. Yeah. By the way I see it, one right taken away is another. Is a gateway for all our rights to be stripped, slowly and surely, until this document right here has no contest. It's run through the shredder or laid on fire. I'm not calling for any crazy action. I'm just calling for people to start talking to people, get more engaged in conversations. That's it. That's all I want. Something simple. Nothing like extreme right there, is it? Get out, talk to your neighbors. I mean, we need these local talks. This national talk that is supposed to happen isn't happening. It's the only way to make a national talk about firearms and the importance thereof, and about other things, your rights, is to start talking to people. Politicians aren't going to do it for you. They got way too much on their hands as is. It's election year. It's on you. At the end of the day, so what are you going to do about it? Are you going to just sit there, let the world pass you by saying it won't happen, it can't happen, that those terror attacks overseas can't happen here, that you won't be a victim? Truth is, it can happen. It could happen anywhere. The fact is, we still have a Second Amendment, which makes it harder for those willing and able to do harm to us. Think about it. I was supposed to have guests come online and talk, but they're not here today. I could have postponed the show, but I don't do that. The importance of everything that is around us. That's the way it is. So, I was going to go on for another 40 minutes, but seeing I don't have guests, another 40 minutes, but seeing